compensate for this mindset, I think we need a paradigm shift to review the way that we think about high availability and disaster recovery. Generally, when a system has low RTOs and RPOs, which is very low recovery time objective and recovery point objective, that means that most companies recommend high availability. The reverse, when a system has high RTOs and RPOs, that you should institute disaster recovery for that system. Basically what this means is that on your most critical system there is an all or nothing approach. And I think this is bad advice, because this is assuming that high availability and disaster recovery are two of the same, because this is saying that disaster recovery and high availability are various solutions to the same problem. But high availability is not the extreme of disaster recovery. There are different approaches to very different problems. And what's most important is that high availability does not mitigate software bugs, data corruption, and human error. And in some cases, having a high available system may compound or cause these problems. I'd like to propose that instead of high availability, we use the term service availability, which is a reduction or elimination of single points of failure. Some of those single points of failure can be geographic locations. High availability would probably be automatic and involve little human decision making at the time of interruption. And most importantly, it reduces the likelihood of a catastrophic event or failure. Disaster recovery or service recovery is the consistent recovery of all the components of the IT service to a specific point in time. This will probably be manual and requires extensive human decision making. And what's important about service recovery is that it reduces the impact of a catastrophic event or failure. Service recovery would be a discipline under IT service continuity. It requires a separate dedicated team. This is because you shouldn't have to choose between working on resolving the production problem and recovering at the recovery site. Something that's important is that when things go wrong, people get stupider and you start making mistakes that you wouldn't under low pressure situations. Your recovery team should be highly experienced and well rehearsed. Most important to business is that service recovery should be unknown. You should know exactly how long it will take you to recover, how much information you're going to use, whether there will be degraded performance, and whether you will be able to elegantly roll back to production. Under this new paradigm, there should be minimum and maximum RTOs and RPOs instituted. Proposed structure of IT service continuity, which is documented in a fantastic specification called PAS 77, which is a British publicly available specification. Now it will be divided into two sections: service availability, which reduces the likelihood of a catastrophic event or failure. Service availability has its own dedicated people, processes, documented well in documents such as COBIT and NARTL, and its own technology. As a separate discipline, service recovery reduces the impact of the failure. If you look at the ContinuitySA document of the Business Continuity Recovery Tower, it's a great way of thinking about all the components and making sure that they get recovered. Service recovery has its own dedicated people, which is a recovery team, its processes or technical recovery plans, and its technology, which is your recovery configuration. Under this paradigm, service availability and service recovery will fall on a continuum. When there is an event, you'll track back your RTOs and your RPOs, your recovery points and your recovery time, which basically specify how much information you'll lose on the RPO side and how long it's going to take you to recover on the RTO side. Service recovery should have a specific RPO for each system, specifying how much information you'll lose and how long it will take you to recover. And this basically specifies the survival of your business. Service availability is a financial transaction which will have its own recovery point objective, how much information you'll lose, and its own recovery time objective, how quickly you will get up and running. Maturity in IT service continuity means that both of these disciplines will move closer and closer towards that